Right, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today we're going to talk about MREs, meals ready to eat. But before that, just a little bit self-promotion. I've written a book called Bloody Crosses. It's in Dutch, and it's a first part of an 11-part detective series. So if you're interested, the link will be in the description. Um, so, MREs. Yeah, this is one of those things that starting preppers focus on a lot, and I think it's more because of the military aspects of MREs. But there are two types of MREs. There are civilian MREs and there are military MREs, and I will tell you about the difference between the two because it can save you a lot of money, trouble, weight, and volume. But I'm going to start with. I will start. I will. How do you say this? I'm going to divide this in several classes. I will start with civilian MREs, military MRE, and military MREs. And those you can also divide into several sections, but I will try to keep it simple and short as possible. As you can see, I have here variables all of MREs. I'm first going to start with the civilian ones. Yeah, first of all, if you're going to buy civilian MREs, why would you why would you even bother with MREs? Well, MREs could be they have disadvantages and they have benefits. Uh, I would start with the benefits is they are like the name says, meal ready to eat. You can eat them directly without a lot of cooking process. Another benefit is they are usually sturdy, so you can keep them a little bit longer than most foods. They are in a sturdy packages because they have to be able to be stored for a long time, and yeah, they are very often nutritious. But now we're going to the disadvantages. They're pricey. They're very pricey, to be honest. So if you're a starting prepper, I would advise instead of giving like this was 18 euros for one meal, which is very much. Instead of as an example, this is imagine that this is for one day of food, and also drinks. To be honest, I will talk about this later. 18 euros. This is a bag of 5 kilos of rice. I can eat a whole week of this, and it's only 5 euro 99. Yeah, and that's because of the rising prices now. But I bought this at only not even $5. 5 euros, I mean. So yeah, if you're a starting prepper, I would advise to get just bags of rice and put them into a vacuum bag, and that will be a lot cheaper. You can hold them longer than an MRE. An MRE is more something you would use to for transport or for bartering perhaps, but or for yeah evacuations, bug outs. For those things are MREs better. But if you're a beginning prepper and you are a little bit tight on financial means, I would advise to get regular food, and you will get a lot of more calories and nutritions than an MRE. I would say buy only MREs when your Bakin stockpile is on the level, and then you can start to use MREs. Another disadvantage I would say is it's you have to look what kind of MRE that you're buying, because some companies are preying on. I talked about this in the in earlier in some videos, but some companies are taking advantages when there is a panic, disaster happening. They will pop up their MREs, but they put the cheapest stuff in it, and it's not always that nutritious and not always that tasty. So if you're going to buy an MRE, buy one that is perhaps a little bit expensive, but it will be of a little bit more quality, will last longer, will taste better. You get more nutrition for that than some of these. How do you call this? Those doomsday buckets that they try to sell, which is just one big bucket or a bag with pure food that is very cheap. So that's no good. That's usually just made for profit. So I would say be very carefully with what kind of MREs that you're buying. So I will start now with what kind of MREs that I prefer, and this is one of those civilian MREs. This is from Track and Eat. This is usually one sort of dinner meal in just one bag. This is very small. This is like a whole egg powder, which you can use in the morning if you're going to bug out or camp or hike, to use as a breakfast. So yeah, it's very simple. It's just a small meal, but for the meal, I would say it's very very pricey. To be honest, you got this in all these fire varieties. You got some spaghetti bolognese, macaroni. You got some dessert bags with desserts. You got some pesto with salami and salmon and those kind of stuff. You got, I mean, all kind of courses, variety and dinners. But to be honest, they are very handy, but they are a little bit expensive for what you can take. But the benefit is they are very light, compact. Like you see, they are very thin, so you can stack your bug out bag or your hike bag in front. And yeah, it could be very handy, and they are very tasty. That's also very important. That is not your spam bullshit that they sometimes try to sell. So this is handy if you're going to camp or hike, I would say, or for a bug out, but not really for your bug in pantry. There, for that it's a little bit too expensive in my taste, but for the move, it is very very good. Uh, what I try to use, this is something that I do not only put in my bug out bag, but also in my EDC bag. One of these. That is actually not really an MRE, but more an emergency food ration. But they serve the same purpose. They are in a good packages. They last a long time. This one goes to 2040, so it can be stored for a very long time. They are very compact. That is what you get with this. What you see around here, that is just packaging, and this small part is the food. But this that is pure the block that you will eat. It is divided in 9 parts of a sort of, it's not really biscuit, but it's like stamped powdered, that you can eat like a block. But another benefit of this is, like you can see, if you put this in boiling water and stir it, you can even feed it to your children. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to say, this tracking thing, how do you say this, bag, is a 772 calories for just this one whole bag. And this little bag, this little block, is 2,300 calories. You even got another type of energy 50 emergency food ration, and this is 2,325 calories. Yeah, just 25 more, but yeah, it's not really that big difference. And they are, what do they say, lactose free, GMO free, and vegan. I do not care about that, but if you have a certain religion or a culture that you cannot eat certain things, or you are not trusting certain GMOs or something, or you're a vegan or vegetarian, this is a good option for you. I would advise to get at least a few of these. These will last long, and they are a good bartering item, and you can even feed small infants with it. So yeah, that is very very good. And it's also, because you can powder it, like I said, and feed it and stir it with hot water and mix it to your infants. It's also handy for somebody who has a wound to their face or their mouth, like somebody who has a toothache or an abscess in the mouth, and you cannot eat that well. This is, during a survival situation or a shitty defense situation, a very good option, so they do not have to chew it, because you stirred it with water to make it into a sort of porridge. So yeah, if you cannot chew, this is very good to have in your stockpile or in your bug out, in case you got into a fight or you've fallen into and broke some teeth. Yeah, very handy. A little bit, they are expensive, but I would find this more worth his money than something like this, to be honest. So those were the civilian types of MREs, and now we're coming to the military MREs. I got two military MREs. This is one of the US Army, and this is one of the French Army, and there is a big difference between the two. This is menu 17, pork sausage patty, maple flavored. Yeah, patty. I have not eaten from this one. I ate from this one, but not yet from this one. But from what I gathered, it's pork sausage patty with maple how do you say it? Maple sauce on it, peanut butter crackers. You got some cashew nuts with that are jalapeno flavored. You got some toilet paper, matchbook with matches. What do you something very small to cook it on, and what else was it? Coffee. Coffee was also in this, and some sort of powdered electrolytes, energy drink, lemonade or something. I think it's one of those. I'm not really sure about it, but yeah, this is, like you can see, this could be very compact in contrary to the French one, but I will tell you why. Because this is just very simple. This is just for 24. Oh, and there is also banana flavored muffin or something in it. So this is for a 24-hour ration. But like I said before, this is 18 euros, which is a lot for one day of meal. So I would say buy perhaps a few of these. Do not concentrate on this when you're a starting prepper, or when you do not have when you have financial problems, or you can spend your money better on other survival gear. But this could be handy for something to keep in your bug out bag, in your car, or in your house, just in case, or at work, in case you forgot your meal, or if you have to do a long trip, you can use one of these. What are the disadvantages of these? To be honest, it's expensive. It's big, to be honest, because there is a lot of packaging in it, so you will have a lot of waste. In contrary to this, what you see is what you get. This is only the carton, which you can use as a Tinder or Kindle, with some aluminum foil kind of vacuum bag around it. That's the only waste that you will have. But this almost 1/4 of it will be plastic and carton, and there's also one plastic spoon in it. So yeah, to be honest, this is a lot of waste. Takes a lot of volume, a lot of space. It's kind of lightweight, but still, for what you get, I would prefer this one than this one. It will have a little bit more taste, I guess, and some more variety. So that's the thing. That's the benefit from this above one of these Energy 5's rations, and that is flavor. This will be one taste flavor, but you can solve this by having some maple syrup or honey or something that you can dip in it, or some chocolate paste that you can put in your bug bed without too much space. But this is just a variety meal, and it is also for one person. So you cannot say, "Oh, I will open this with my wife and my child, and we will separate it." That will be, you will have to divide it very, very carefully. So yeah, that's kind of a downer. So this is just for one person, but I would say take it with it. This is not compact to what I'm going to talk about next. So it's your own choice if you're going to take this. If you got the money, be my guest. But to be honest, I will not buy more than a few of these to be worth it. And it is from the French Army MRE for 24 hours. And yeah, this is a big one. Like you can see, this is very large. If you're gonna put this in your bug out bag, you will not have much room for anything else. To be honest, you can if you're going to use this as food for a bug out, you can spread it over 1 to even 3 days if you have a good metabolism that will not need food for every 15 minutes. But it's a little bit, this one is a little bit cheaper than the American one, but this one has more in it, to be honest. I will try to be how do you say this, be quick bit with what you can get with this one. It's because it's in French, so I'm going to try to list it up into English. There is already cooked dishes in it with salt pork, lentils, sausages in spices, salads with rice, fish and vegetable filling, soup, milky dessert, salted and sweet biscuits, coffee and tea, chocolate powder, muesli, isotonic powder drink, nougat, fruit, jelly, energy bar, chocolate bar, jam, packet of tissues, reheating kit, and a water purification tablets. So that's all into this. So I would say this is actually an MRE that, to me personally, I could eat this for at least 3 days or even longer. But some people need more food, so it could be worth it in that regard. But to be honest, this has a lot of waste. With also this with everything in it, because it has a reheating kit that you can use several times. But that's also the problem. If you're going to use this in your bug out bag or your hiking bag or camping or whatever, and you put more of these, this will take a lot of room. Is a little bit more weight, actually a lot of more weight in contrary to the other ones, and you will have more of the same thing. So if you have a few of these, I would say open them up and get the things out that you will going to use, because you do not need 3 reheating kits of the same type. So you can take one reheating kit and take the few tablets from the other ones instead of the metal parts that have more weight, or will start to take up room too much and too much weight. So yeah, to be honest, this one is perhaps more of a good bartering item of if you put it in your car, bagasse vehicle, at work, or something else that you will have to keep it for a longer time, because to be honest, it's not really worth its money, to be honest. Then I prefer to make my own containers or vacuum bags with rice, pasta, and other types of emergency foods, that are more suitable to what I need. So this is another disadvantage of MREs. You do not always get what you like. You are stuck with what's inside of the box unless you take it out. Uh, but that problem, you will break the seal, and perhaps some other foods will not last that long. But yeah, like I said, some people will perhaps not like the salted pork, especially when you have a certain faith, like if you're Jewish or Muslim, that you cannot eat these, or if you're a vegetarian, that's also could be a problem. So it's not really a problem for most people, I guess, but it's something worth noting. So yeah, MREs, are they worth it? In my opinion, depends what kind. If you're going to take MREs, try to get one of these Energy 5 emergency rations instead of these military kits. And yeah, those will be expensive, take a lot of space, and you could use the money for more efficient or other survival preps that you can take into your bug out bag, your bug-in food pantry, and such and such. So yeah, in my opinion, MREs are for preppers not really how do you say this, priority. So yeah, take whatever you want with this video. This was my opinion about the stuff. I hope I made you think about it, and I will save you some money, time, and perhaps some errors in the future if you're going to start prepping. So don't forget, look into the description for my book, subscribe, like, all that stuff, and leave a like. If you have any other comments or about MREs, leave them in the comments. Because I'm not an expert on this, I have because I have only experienced a few types of MREs. That is what I noticed from it. So if you get any other experiences or things that I do not know, tricks, tips, hacks with MREs perhaps, leave them in the comments. I'm always eager to learn. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Cheers and bon appetit.